Hello everybody, welcome back to this Arcade. It's me, Scorpio Caesar, once again. And today I want to talk a little bit about the GameCube and some recent game pickups that I did for one of my favorite consoles of all time. So before we begin today's episode, I do want to talk about... Back in 2015, I was going hard when it came to collecting for the Nintendo GameCube. I was going in. I was getting all the heavy hitters that I missed. A lot of these games I was finding at GameStops that were still selling GameCube games. I was getting a lot of them off eBay. Collecting for the GameCube wasn't easy back then, but it was doable. And I was able to get a lot of great games and get them complete, for the most part. That was back in 2015. And what could possibly go wrong? Despite what you see behind me, some of those cover arts are actually just reproductions that I printed out myself, and a lot of those cases are empty with the disc only. No manuals, no health and safety guides, nothing. So what did I do this past 3 months? I focused on collecting for the Nintendo GameCube because I was so proud of that GameCube collection, like really proud of it, and to see it in shambles and relegated to just discs in a folder, it was not cool and I did not like it. So I decided it may be difficult, but it's not impossible to collect for the Nintendo GameCube in 2022/2023. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about some of the games that I picked up recently within the past 3 or 4 months for the Nintendo GameCube. Tell you how much I paid for them and how I got them, usually from eBay or some claim sales, and then compare it to the complete in-box price listed on pricecharting.com, which is a good website to use as a reference, since we're only using that as a reference. But as always with the CES Arcade, you know it's time to...
Get ready!
It's a mess, really. There's another stack here that's off camera that you probably can't see. You've been checking out some of the shorts that I've been having a little fun with. You will notice that I've been collecting the cases and cover arts only for certain games that I already have. Now basically what that does is that it turns like a $25 disc only into like a $50, $60 game once it's complete. So I got Sonic Adventure DX, now complete in its box with manual. Mario Golf Toadstool Tour, which now I have 2 copies of because I only had the disc. Probably gonna sell one of those. Mario Kart Double Dash. I am really happy that I finally have the case and manual for this once again. Mario Power Tennis is complete once again with its inserts and manual. And Mario Superstar Baseball. I think the only one that I need now is Mario Strikers. And Mario Strikers I have just a reproduction cover art for. Perhaps if I can, I will get that complete at some point in time. Now with that out of the way, let's get into some games. So first off, I want to start off with, this is kind of like, I got some movie license games. I have some games that have no real like rhyme or reason. And yeah, let's just start, right? Let's move some of these over here. And let's begin with, god damn it, Bomberman Generation. Was never really big into the classic Bomberman formula. However, this game caught my eye because it's not like the traditional Bomberman experience. It's more of an adventure game, and I got it complete, of course, in its box, case and all. Pretty great shape, pretty decent condition. And on price charting, Bomberman Generation goes for around $29.64 at the time of this recording, and I paid only $16.50 for that one. A game that I wanted to pick up on the Dreamcast, however, it was significantly cheaper on the GameCube, and since I have the GameCube with the Swiss installed, I could just force the 480p, and it is for 18-wheeler American Pro Trucker. Yeehaw. Could have gotten it there, but I would have been paying around $20-something and up for it on the Dreamcast. Got it for the GameCube, and I only paid $7.50. It currently goes on price charting for around $8.60. So I did okay with that one. Next up, we have a racing game that I originally played when my brother-in-law showed off the PlayStation 2 to me. He had this on that system, and it was also on the GameCube. Extreme G Racing. I want to give some shout outs to a couple of channels that I actually discovered recently, and one of them I actually got a few claims from not too recently, and that is for RetroWolf88. I love his GameCube gallery, and he's currently in the process of rebuilding his GameCube collection after having sold his entire GameCube collection. He's got a plethora of content on his channel, definitely give him a watch. RetroWolf88 and GameCube Galaxy, who I personally am holding responsible for some of these purchases. This one in particular because he just recently started his channel not too long ago, and he is great. Definitely check out GameCube Galaxy's channel if you haven't already. So I'm blaming him for that one. I'm blaming both of them for some of these. But here we have Extreme G Racing. Now I paid $14.99 for this one, and it usually goes for around $14.19. So I didn't really get a deal on that one. So just put that aside. But it's a futuristic racing game. Next up, we have Legends of Wrestling for the GameCube. I played this originally on the Xbox with my brother-in-law, and he had this one because he knew I was a wrestling fan. His nephews were into wrestling. I played this a little bit, and oh my god, I do not remember just how bad this game actually feels to play. It is just not fun, but it's nice to have it in my collection. For Legends of Wrestling on price charting goes for around $8.24 complete. I paid only $5 for it complete. Didn't really break the bank for that one. Next up, we got, what we got here? Turok Evolution. I had this game already on the GameCube. Just the game itself. However, this guy was selling this one complete in its box. And I figured, you know what? I could just sell the extra copy that I have. So Turok Evolution, I prefer to play it on the GameCube since Turok for me was a Nintendo 64 franchise. And this one runs at 60 frames per second on the GameCube, so that's much more preferred. And this one goes for $17.04 complete in box. I got it for only $10.50. Frogger Beyond. I have some of the other Frogger games that came out on PS2. I have a couple of them on the Game Boy Advance. It's another Frogger game, however, it's got a lot of heart to it. This one on price charting goes for around $12.92 complete. I got it for only $7.50. Spyro Enter the Dragonfly. Now I know this is like the worst in the series. I get it. I never played this one growing up, so I really have no physical attachment, emotional attachment to it. I want to kind of get every Spyro, or at least traditional Spyro game that's out there. Goes for around $14.85 on price charting complete. I got it for only $8. So I don't really feel too bad about owning that one. Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy. This is an underrated game. I know it recently got re-released, remastered. I wanted to get it on the GameCube because that's where it originally came out for. It also came out on the Xbox and PS2. Really happy to have this. From what I played, me and my wife were actually really enjoying this one. This one goes for around $11.20 on price charting, and I paid only $9.99. Alright, so let's continue. What do we have? Sonic Mega Collection. Already owned the disc for this game, however I wanted to get it complete. And I paid only, this was a claim sale actually, I got it from TNT Games and Collectibles, and I paid only $12 for this one. Not including shipping or tax, we're excluding shipping and tax prices today because it's gonna, inflate the price artificially. So, Prince of Persia: The Two Thrones. I wanted to get all three of the Prince of Persia games that came out around this time, however I was only able to get the third one. However, what I did play of it, I did enjoy it. So I know these Prince of Persia games are top quality, and if you haven't played Sands of Time, The Two Thrones, or Revelations, I think it's called, is it Revelations? Don't quote me on that, I think Revelations was the PSP one of part 2. Prices for this complete usually go for around $14.84, I paid only $13.50. Speaking of games with personality, this one took me by surprise, and I blame GameCube Galaxy for this one because he was talking about it on his channel a few times. Pitfall: The Lost Expedition. I didn't actually ever really play any of the Pitfall games in the past. However, I remember seeing this here or there, and I was like, meh, looks okay, I guess. Didn't read any reviews about it. This game oozes personality right off the bat. Me and my wife were taken aback by just how great some of the animations were and the colors for this game, and it feels great to play too. So Pitfall: The Lost Expedition is, I would say, it's a hidden gem. Me personally, I think this is one game that a lot of people slept on and didn't pick up, and that's a shame because it's actually really good. Complete in box, this one goes for around $18.58. I paid only $10.50. Next up, we have SSX Tricky. Now, I've been meaning to get into these games for quite some time, and Keisha Boy Games, this is like his favorite game series of all time. I played this originally on PlayStation 2. I remember the commercials, however, and I remember the game having a lot of personality and being absolutely crazy and fun. Picked it up on the Xbox, and I had to get it on the GameCube because, I don't know, I've been playing the GameCube a lot recently, so I've been preferring that. Complete in box, SSX Tricky goes for around $22.87 on the GameCube. I paid only $16 for it. So again, speaking of Keisha Boy Games, I claimed this one off him for only $15. SSX3. And since it was a claim sale, I didn't look into how much it goes for, but it's generally around that price range, around $20 or so. This one I actually like better than SSX Tricky. However, they're both on equal grounds for me. There's things that I like about SSX Tricky that I like more than SSX3, and vice versa. They're both worth owning, and if you haven't played them yet, oh my god, you're missing out, man. You're absolutely missing out. Next up, we got some animated movie licensed games. First off, The Incredibles. Wife had this on the PlayStation 2. She remembered it, so I decided to pick it up for her mainly. It's not bad. It's actually pretty decent, and it's, you know, all these games here you're gonna see, they're pretty mediocre games that are easily forgotten. However, a lot of people grew up with these games that are my age now, and they have very fond memories of them. You can go on any video covering some of these games and people are going to say, this was my childhood, or this was my teenage, hood. Is that even how you say it? Whatever. I don't care. I picked up Incredibles for my wife. We're having a good time playing it. Complete in box, this goes for around $6.88. I paid only $5.50. Ice Age 2: The Meltdown. Got it complete in its box. Figured it was a 3D platformer. How bad could it be, right? Well, this one I paid a little more than I should have. This one usually goes for around $8.21. I paid $8.50. Next up, we got Teen Titans. Absolutely loved this show growing up. Completely forgot that it actually had a video game tie-in. And it's actually co-op too, so my wife chooses Raven, I choose Starfire. Win-win for everybody involved. Teen Titans on the GameCube goes for around $24.85, complete in its box. I got it for only $20. Okay, there's a couple of people that I'm blaming for this next one. Don't judge me. I swear to God. I blame my wife. She's a fan. And I blame RetroWolf88. His review. It's not a bad game. Hello Kitty Roller Rescue. It's adorable. It's cute. It's pink. It's Hello Kitty, for crying out loud. This one can go up to like $40, complete in its box. On price charting, complete in box, you can get Hello Kitty for around $25.50. eBay, from what I saw, was around $30 to $40. I paid only $19.50. That's how you bid snipe, people. That's how you gotta play the game to get the games. Next up, we have Scooby-Doo Unmasked. I love Scooby-Doo. Wifey loves Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo, how much are you? So yeah, Scooby-Doo, there's 3 games on the GameCube. I want to get the other 2, Mystery Mayhem and Night of 100 Frights. This is Unmasked, this was the 3rd one, and price charting says, complete in box, $8.68. I paid only $12.50. Next up, this was a game that I always wanted to check out, and I never did up until now. Wallace and Gromit and Project Zoo. Come on, you 90s kids, you're like me, you grew up, you've probably stumbled upon a Wallace and Gromit episode or movie at some point in your life, alright? Wallace and Gromit is a great series, and if you haven't checked it out, definitely do. This game can go upwards to around $30, $40 complete. Price charting says it's around $20.72. I got it for only $9.50. This is how you gotta do it. Always choose the best offer. Give them a low ball number. You never know, sometimes they might accept it. But you go from there. That's what the best offer feature is all about. Don't buy it now. Unless you feel it's a great price, always try to haggle. That is my tip for you guys. Moving on. Smashing Drive. This game you can complete in like 30 minutes. It's an arcade port with not a lot of content on it, but I figured it looked fun, and it is fun. And I decided to pick it up. So Smashing Drive usually goes for around $13.98 on price charting. I paid only $5.50. And that's all this game is honestly worth, because it's so damn short. Next up, a GameCube launch game that I never actually got a chance to play, but always wanted to because I like how that mech on the cover looks. I'm a very shallow guy. But again, GameCube Galaxy said this was a fun game, so I decided to check it out. This one goes complete in box, from price charting around $13.60 is how much you can expect to pay. I paid around $15.50, so I paid a little more than what price charting was saying. But that's usually how it goes. Out of the Shadows, I'm sorry, Disney's PK Out of the Shadows. This is a Donald Duck comic book tie-in, and this was probably, next to Hello Kitty, the most minty cube game I've gotten in recent memory. So minty, this looked like it came out of its factory ceiling, and the guy sold it to me. How much did I pay for PK? Well, PC usually says it goes for around $16.38. I paid only $10.50. What a steal. Next up, we got another animated movie tie-in game. This one's actually pretty good. Ratatouille on the Nintendo Gamecube, complete in its box, goes for around $16.13 according to PC. I could see it go up to $20 sometimes on eBay. I paid only $12 freaking for it. Next up, we have another movie tie-in game, Curious George. I love the Curious George books growing up. My mom always used to read them to me. I love you, mama. This game, I decided to pick it up because it looked cute. And I like me some cute platformers with a lot of color in them. Curious George feels a little stiff, but I can see this being a fun little romp. Especially if you have a kid. Or if you're a kid at heart, like me. I paid, price charting says around $12.88 you can spend for this complete in box. I got it for only $7. GameCube wall. It's building. It's building. Next up we got Chicken Little on the GameCube. Chicken Frickin' Little. I paid only $7 through Keisha Boy Games in a claim sale. We have Jimmy Neutron Attack of the Twonkies. I heard this was a fun game. I always liked the Jimmy Neutron, even though I didn't watch it religiously. It was kind of past my time when it came to Nickelodeon shows. I was more of a Rugrats kind of guy, Cousin Skeeter, all that. That was my Nickelodeon. You know what I mean? Legends of the Hidden Temple. Come on. Who else watched Legends of the Hidden Frickin' Temple, man? I know I'm not the only one. Regardless, Jimmy Neutron Attack of the Twonkies. Price charting says you could pay around $12.50 for this complete in box. I got it for only $6.50. Come on, let's keep going. 007 Everything or Nothing. Actually heard it looks better on the GameCube than it does on the Xbox where I originally have it. So I decided to pick it up on the GameCube as well since I didn't have it complete in its box. Now I do. Price charting says this goes for around $12.61 on eBay. I can see it go up to $20. Price charting says $12.61 complete in its box. eBay says otherwise. I paid only $10. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Why I got this, don't ask, okay? Don't ask. I paid only $7 for this. Next up on price charting, this one goes for around $12.21. I got it for only $10.50 complete in its box. Enter The Matrix. I'm not a Matrix fan. I never watched the movies. I never plan to. However, the game. The game. Look at this beautiful holographic cover, man. Like, they don't make them like they used to anymore. This is a beautiful looking game, and it actually plays pretty fun too. I've heard a lot of mixed things about it, but it's not that bad. Spider-Man 2, I got an acclaim sale from Dummy Games. Just recently started an account on Instagram with claim sales, or they've been doing it for a while, but this was my first experience with them, and a positive experience all around. Thank you very much, Dummy Games. Paid only $10 for Spider-Man 2 complete in his box. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. A lot of people who are fans of the Harry Potter series have most likely played any of these games here. I picked it up because I was curious. I've never played any of the Harry Potter games, and I love the series. So I picked this one up. I got it from Keisha Boy Games for only $5. Unfortunately, no manual, but look at a precautions booklet, so that's good. That's always good. However, that did make me want to pick up Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, which was like the last one of the traditional style of Harry Potter style games during this generation. I picked this one up. It was around, price charting says it's going for $9.45, completing its box. I paid only $8.50. Rings of Power came out recently. I really did enjoy the show. My wife is a huge Lord of the Rings, Tolkien nut, so I figured, let me pick up these games. I've always wanted to actually play through them, and I remember only playing Two Towers with my brother-in-law at the time. When he picked it up. So Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, and Lord of the Rings, The Third Age. In total, I paid $51.50 for all three of these, complete in box, all black labels, obviously. Everything here is black label. I don't do that Player's Greatest Hits, no. Those look weird. I've become such a snob. But let's go through how much price charting says each of them are individually. The Two Towers goes for around $14.96, completing its box. Return of the King goes for around $14.72, completing its box. And The Third Age goes for around $24.90, completing its box. Now, if you total that all together, I'd say I did a pretty good job with these, because I paid, when you split up the $51.50 three ways, only $17.16 for each. I do not feel bad about that. I got it out of curiosity. How does Rocky run on the GameCube? It runs like a dream. No problems with this version whatsoever. It actually runs really well, especially when compared to the Xbox version. And I reviewed this game. If you haven't seen my review for it, it came out on November 21st of last year, which was my birthday. Also the debut of Rocky in theaters. That review was a labor of love, and I do plan on continuing reviewing Rocky games. However, I need to better myself before I do. So I picked that up. It goes for around, price charting says it goes for around $11.81, completing its box. I don't believe that's usually the case. I paid $15 for it. Okay, we're almost done with this video. I know it's a long one, and I hope I keep you entertained throughout. Please stick with me. We're almost through. Now, I've had this weird fascination all of a sudden with collecting Sims games for the 6th generation of consoles. I pretty much got them all. And this was no easy feat, but I did it. I am so happy I have pretty much every Sims game that came out on the GameCube. So let's see what price charting is listing these for. The original Sims goes for price charting complete in box around the $9.86. I paid only $8 for it. Next up we have the Sims Busting Out. Sims Busting Out, that sounds so weird. Price charting says it goes for around $11, complete in its box. It really doesn't, trust me. It's going for higher on eBay. I paid only $8.50 though. Herbs, Sims in the City. This is a spin-off game of The Sims that only came out on consoles, as far as I know. The Herbs was the most expensive of all the Sims games. On price charting, it says it goes for around $19.99. I can see it go up to $30 on eBay. I paid only $15 for this one, complete in its box. This next one is also pretty pricey on the GameCube to get it complete in its box, but I managed to do it somehow. The Sims 2. This one on price charting says it goes for around $19.39. I can see it go up to like $30 as well. I paid only $11.50 for that one. And last but not least, we have the Sims 2 Pets. There's a reason why I'm buying all these Sims games, by the way. I do plan on actually doing videos covering all the Sims console games ever released. I don't know how I'm going to handle it. All in one video or each game getting a separate video. I'm still debating about that. If you would like to see that, let me know how you would like it formatted. All one video or separate videos for each game. The Sims 2 Pets I picked up, it goes for around $8.21, price charting says. I only paid $6 for it, so. Thank you for sticking with me in this episode. This is a long episode, and I guess you can say it's Rebuilding the Game Wall, episode 16? I don't remember. We have some heavy hitters here that if you're collecting for the GameCube in 2022, you are going to be hurting when it comes to getting these. Unless you somehow manage to get a good deal. So let's talk about it. We got some amazing games here that are absolutely essential, in my honest opinion, for the GameCube. First off, Soul Calibur 2. I managed to get it complete in its box. Now, Soul Calibur 2 can go upwards to around $30 complete. Not the Player's Choice or Greatest Hits Edition, Black Label, can go up to around $40. I seen on eBay. I paid. This was luck of the draw. Checking every day, looking for the lowest price option, going for the best offer. Guess how much I paid for this one? $13.50. I kid you not. I kid you not. Next up, we talked about this recently, Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee. Now, the GameCube version is a great place to start, but it's not the best version. The Xbox version is actually the better version of this game. How much did I pay for Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee? Well, first of all, Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee can go for around $32.94 complete in its box. Not the Player's Choice Greatest Hits Yellow Label version, talking about the Black Label, it could go up to $40. If you're lucky, you get it for only around $31, which is what I paid for. Could have done a lot better. This one hurt. Like, this was a kick in the balls. The Dragon Balls. Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2. Why I decided to pick up the GameCube version, I have no idea. The GameCube version is the most complete version of the game, however, it does have alternate costumes that the PS2 version doesn't have. I mean, I could have paid only $12 something for the PS2 version, but no, I had to get the GameCube version for some reason. Price charting says it goes for around $48.99, complete in its box. They aren't lying, I paid $50 for this one. Not proud of that one, but damn, that holographic cover art is so sexy. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Battle Nexus. I'm still missing the third game in the series, however I decided to pick these up because I wanted to try some co-op fun with my wife, and we actually did play some of the first one. We haven't played much of the second one. I paid $25 for the first game, complete in its box, which is usually around the price range you would pay for the first game. The second game, however, is a little bit more on the pricey side, and that price charting says $43.37. I paid $41. So, yeah. Didn't really get a good deal on that one, but for some reason, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games just shot up in price recently, all because of Shredder's Revenge and then the Cowabunga collection, so whatever. Next up, I got this one in a claim sale from JS_VGS. $40 for this one, complete in its box. I didn't need to, but I couldn't find the game, case, and manual alone, so I decided to buy it up again. I'll just probably sell my other copy, but I really enjoy Star Fox Adventures. I don't care what anybody else says. This is a solid game. Now, I know why a lot of people don't like it. I didn't grow up with traditional Star Fox. I mean, I did, but I never played them. This was like my first Star Fox game I ever played, and I love this one. It's got dinosaurs in it. You can get that one for around $35, complete in its box, $40. It's around the price range it goes for. And last but not least, I had this game already, but I had to have it complete in its box with each and every goddamn insert that it comes with. Why? Because I like wasting money. I'm a very irresponsible adult. But I had to have it. It just means so much to me. And that is for Metroid Prime. Not proud of what I paid for it, but then again, I could have paid a lot worse. How much did I get Metroid Prime for complete in its box? You can expect to pay around $33.75 for this one. I got it for $37. Could have gotten a better deal on it. However, you gotta understand something here. When they say complete in box on price charting, and I know it's weird that I'm saying this at the very end, but do keep in mind, they're not really factoring everything in that box. Now, when it comes to GameCube games, if you're a snob like I have become recently, they come with the health and safety precautions manual, and they also come with inserts. For the most part, some games come with 2, some games come with 3, or 1. Metroid Prime came with a manual and 2 inserts, at least this version of the game. I had to get them both. So I paid a premium, and that's just how it is. When it comes to GameCube collecting in 2022, expect to pay a premium, but do keep in mind, collecting for the GameCube is not as impossible as people make it out to be. Yes, it's pricey. This is a pricey hobby. I'm sorry, that's just how it's going right now. Will things drop off? Who knows? Probably not. But you gotta understand something here. If these games, or at least some of them, if there's a console that really means a lot to you, you will do your best, and whatever you have to do, even if it means selling another piece of your collection somewhere else in a different hobby, you will do whatever you can to make sure you have that represented on your shelf. For me, not having these GameCube games displayed on my game wall, it sucked. It really did suck. Out of sight, out of mind, and that's usually how it was when they were relegated to a binder. Some of them are still trapped in that binder as we speak. However, I do plan on rectifying that and getting the cases and manuals for a lot of these games and getting rid of these reproduction cover arts, because some of them just look god-awful. But it's not cheap. It's going to be a pricey endeavor, and I got to take my time with it. And if you're collecting for the GameCube in 2022, 2023, you got to be patient, and you got to know where to look. eBay, claim sales, I always say, never buy it now, always go with the best offer, or wait. Place your bid at the very last seconds. 6 seconds left. I put my highest bid, and in most cases, I generally come out on top. So anyways, thanks for watching today's episode of Rebuilding the Game Wall GameCube Edition for the anniversary of the GameCube, which was November 18th, the launch of the GameCube. I hope this video can get out in time. And thanks for watching once again, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed this video. And without further ado, good night and game on.